Hey guys, and welcome to J.T.S. Outdoor Life. Today, we're in Jason's kitchen. But it's my recipe, so I'm gonna be cooking. So today our ingredients are 1 can of cream style corn, 1 can of ranch style beans with jalapeno peppers. That does make a difference. 1 can of Rotel tomatoes with green chilies, 1 can of cream of mushroom soup, 1 box of Jiffy Cornbread mix, Mexican style blend shredded cheese, and of course you have your eggs and your milk for the cornbread mix. Also not shown, because I already have it cooking, 1 pound of ground meat. So today our recipe is actually one of my mom's recipes that she used to make. It was quick and easy, you know, with a family of 5, and she would throw it together real quick and pop it in the oven, and a few minutes later it'd be done. We are making a Mexican cornbread casserole today. It only has a few ingredients, and if you need to make more, you can make more. If you want to make it less, you can make less. It's very easy to add to and take away. Today we're just gonna make a small one. I'm home by myself today, so I don't need a really large casserole. So let's get started. In here I have 1 pound ground meat, 1/2 onion, 1/2 bell pepper, and you season your meat to taste, however you want. You just give that a little stir every now and then, sort of break it up, because you don't want big clumps. And we'll get to the rest of it in just a minute. Waiting for the meat to brown and cook, we're going to go ahead and open all of our cans for all of our ingredients. Yes, I just have a regular old handheld can opener, and that's fine. Sometimes I feel like this is the quickest, easiest way for me. Now we have our Rotel. And now we have our ranch style beans with jalapeños. Very important. It does make a difference. Of course, our can of cream of mushroom soup, which has this nifty little tab on the top that you don't even have to use a can opener for. Just pop the top and pull. And so that's ready to go. Now we're going to drain our ground meat. We want to get all that grease off of it. Grease isn't good for you, but we love it, right? So let's get that done. I'm not going to put the pot in the dirty dishes just yet because I'm going to mix everything together in this one pot. Now we're going to add our Rotel tomatoes. Now I slightly drained the Rotel tomatoes just so I wouldn't have quite as much juice. I didn't want it to be too soupy. So this is Rotel tomatoes with diced green chilies. So we're going to add that, the whole can. Next, we're going to add our cream style corn. Next, we're gonna add our ranch style beans that I did wash. I just rinsed them off really good to get that film off the top of it. And what I like to do, it comes with these large sliced jalapeños, and I don't like them that big, so I like to chop them up. And add it to it. So now we're going to add our ranch style beans. Oh, there's some more. See how big of chunks they come in, the jalapenos? I don't like that, so I cut it up. They're pretty mushy already, so it doesn't take much. Rinse my hands. Now we're going to add the cream of mushroom soup, one whole can. Try to get all of it out. Normally I use a little butter knife to do this, but try not to do too many dishes. Okay, and next we're going to add a handful of the shredded cheese, or two. And we're going to stir all that up and mix it together. Now, if you wanted to stop right here and sort of have this as like a soup type, then you can. But I like the casserole. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cook this on a medium heat for just enough to get it warmed up. Put the top on it, just enough to get it warmed up, and then we're going to add it to our casserole dish. Okay, so we have everything mixed together, warming up on the heat right now, and please excuse the little pitter patter in the background. That's Toby walking around on the floor. He had a haircut yesterday, so he thinks he's just Mr. It today. So what we're going to do, we have the Jiffy Cornbread mix in the bowl, and we're going to add, we're just following the instructions on the box, 1/3 cup of milk, and 1 egg. Now, I was raised in the country with live chickens, and so we were taught to never, well, we learned our lesson. It wasn't that we were taught. We learned our lesson to never just crack an egg into your bowl because you never know what kind of surprises you might find. So, Jiffy Cornbread mix, 1/3 cup of milk, 1 egg, and we're gonna mix that together. And this is gonna be our topping. And if you don't like Jiffy Cornbread mix, I'm sure just regular cornbread would be fine. You just won't have that nice sweet taste along with the spicy and tangy. Okay. So now that we're ready for the casserole dish, we're gonna give it a little bit of a spray just so the cornbread doesn't stick. And I'm just using canola oil. You can use coconut oil if you want to, or just regular plain old vegetable oil is fine. Now, remember that this mixture is hot. And we're just gonna dump it into the casserole pan. I did not heat it the whole way to melt all the cheese because I like to do that in the oven. Get all this good ooey gooey stuff out. That's the best part. Now you just spread it out and make it even in your casserole dish. Now I already have the oven preset to 400. I think the box says, yes. The box on the Jiffy Cornbread also says 400, so we're good with that. Now, this is a step that unfortunately sometimes gets forgotten. And it's a step that if you forget it, it completely messes up the whole dish. The cheese on top. Now you do not have to use this sparingly. Put as much cheese as you feel you would like. I end up pretty much using a whole package of cheese on one casserole normally. Okay. So now we're gonna add our cornbread to the top of our mixture. And as you can see, some of the cheese is starting to melt. And what I did, I added a little bit more milk to my cornbread mixture because it had sat a little while and it had gotten a little thicker. So this way it's a little bit easier to pour, but it'll turn out still the same. And you just go along and pour. And I like to try and cover it where it's missing little spots. Sometimes you can get the whole thing and sometimes you can't. Some people like to put more than one box of Jiffy. I don't like that much cornbread in mine, so I just put one box of Jiffy. Just spread it out a little bit. And it's okay if the cheese is mixing in with the cornbread. It won't hurt it. Just make sure that it's covered. And of course, cornbread does expand while it's cooking, so. All right, and it's ready to go in the oven at 400 degrees, and you just watch it. Make sure that it doesn't burn. And it looks like it's done. Let's check to make sure. Now, I use a toothpick, so you can't go too far in or you're gonna get definitely some liquid. But you just poke a little bit to see if the cornbread's ready. And it looks good to me. All right, let's eat. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Also, feel free to share the recipe with everyone. Thanks and have a blessed day.